the history you know isn't just wrong, but is a fundamentally flawed program, a grand deception, a thousand-year glitch in the very code of our past. Today, we're going to explore a radical idea that treats history not as a set of facts, but as a program that we can debug and maybe even hack.
So that leads to a pretty wild question, right? If history is a program, could it have a bug? You know, a critical system error that corrupts the entire timeline. To even begin to find out, you'd need a special kind of tool, something that could read the original source code of the past. And well, according to a very persistent legend, that exact tool was built. They called it the Chronovisor. The story goes that back in the 1950s, a Benedictine monk working with some of the world's brightest scientists actually created a device that could tune into the residual energy of past events and play them back on a screen. He claimed to have seen it all: the crucifixion of Christ, the debates of Roman senators, and then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the machine and all of its secrets completely vanished.
Now, the official story you'll hear is that the device was taken apart, that it was just too dangerous for humanity to possess. But there's another theory, a glitch in that official narrative, if you will. It suggests a much more disturbing reason. The Chronovisor wasn't hidden because it was a failure, it was hidden because it worked perfectly, and it revealed a truth so fundamental that it threatened to unravel the very fabric of our history.
This isn't about some minor historical miscalculation, like getting a date wrong by a few years. No, we're talking about a fundamental corruption of the timeline itself, a thousand-year phantom that is literally haunting our history books. This is the 1,000-year error. And this is where the work of historical analyst Mario Arndt comes in. Based on his meticulous research, looking at astronomical data, ancient chronicles, he argues that our timeline has been artificially inflated. He proposes that a full millennium of phantom time was inserted into our history, 1,000 years that just never happened. Now, if Arndt's analysis is correct, the consequences are just staggering. Events we place in the 1st century AD, like the life of Jesus, suddenly gets shifted 1,000 years forward, landing right in the 11th century. This isn't just redating a few events, it's a complete recompilation of our entire past.
So think about it like this. If you search for a file in the wrong folder on your computer, you're going to get an error, right? File not found. So what happens when you point a tool like the Chronovisor to the wrong century, looking for one of history's most pivotal figures? You find nothing. Or maybe you find something else entirely.
So if the 1st century is the wrong memory address, where do we look? Well, this glitch hypothesis points us directly to the 11th century. And when analysts start to decompile the historical data from that period, really strip away the layers of myth and legend, they find someone whose story aligns with the Jesus narrative in some truly shocking ways.
And this is where the data gets absolutely fascinating. The historical figure we're talking about, the Byzantine Emperor Anastasios I. Okay, get this. His name, Anastasios, is literally Greek for the Resurrected One. He reportedly died during a massive electrical storm, which is an eerie parallel to the darkness and earthquake described in the Gospels. That famous Star of Bethlehem. When you redate the astronomical records, they point to a huge supernova in 1012 AD. And his successor? A man who took the imperial name Petrus, which is of course Latin for Peter. The parallels are just almost too perfect to be a coincidence.
If these data points are correct, it just raises a monumental question. Why? Why would anyone execute such a massive hack on history? Why create 1,000 years of phantom time and then backdate a medieval emperor? Well, according to this analysis, the answer is pretty simple: power.
1,000 years. 1,000 phantom years. An entire millennium of fabricated history. Just a void, filled with duplicated legends and backdated events, all designed to create one specific narrative. So what's the motive for a patch like this? It's all about forging an ancient, venerable origin story for the Church. If you can create a 1,000-year history out of thin air, you can legitimize your authority, establish a direct line back to antiquity, and basically write your own power into the very source code of history. And this brings us right back to the Chronovisor, doesn't it? Supposedly locked away in some Vatican vault. Armed with this new algorithm, this corrected timeline, we can finally begin to understand why its findings would have been considered so incredibly dangerous. Let's just run a hypothetical simulation. So imagine Father Ernetti tunes his machine to the year 33 AD, searching for Jerusalem. He finds nothing. Data not found. But then, armed with this new knowledge of the phantom millennium, he recalibrates. He shifts the search 1,000 years forward, and suddenly, boom, target acquired. But it's not a dusty Roman province he's looking at, it's the heart of the Byzantine Empire, Constantinople. And the figure at the center of it all isn't a humble carpenter. He's a powerful emperor known to history as the Resurrected One.
You see, the real secret of the Chronovisor legend isn't about a time machine. It's about a verification tool, a debugger. And the secret it supposedly uncovered is that the history we all take for granted isn't some objective record of events. It's a constructed narrative. It's code that was written, compiled, and then executed to shape the world we live in today.
And that leads us to this final chilling takeaway. Maybe the Chronovisor is hidden not to keep us from seeing the past, but to keep us from realizing that the past we've been shown, the very foundation of our civilization, might just be the greatest fabrication of all time. It really makes you wonder, if this is the glitch, what else is hiding in the code?